Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Saadiq. And this is the Demetra K Show, where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like to say another big giant thank you and welcome and hello to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you're a family, and sometimes we share the link. And if I do share the link and I've never seen you on here before and your profile looks like this, please show me this. And then you can go back to this if you are not comfortable. I also ask that we in the comment section and on the panel that we are respectful to each other. It's not that we disagree, but it's how we disagree. So, of course, we want to do it in the most respectful way possible. So we came on here about an hour later because Kamala Harris sat down with that of Fox News, Bret Baier to be exact, which was one of the most, I guess, anticipated interviews that she's had so far, because before that she's all seemed like only had like softball interviews, right? With MSNBC, the National Association of Black Journalists, which I think that was probably the second toughest interview that she had, and some other pretty left-wing friendly outlets. So this one was, I would say, one for the records, very telling. But we'll get into that in just a few. Let's see who's on here before I give it to Donovan. Brother Reggie, what's going on with you? 6MK Live, how you doing? Oh, you say she felt the pressure and folded. Let's see here. Who else is on here? CJ Love, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. And Demario, what's going on? Doe, what's going on with you? Quincy X, how you doing? And Miss D, I hope you are doing well. So Donovan, how are you doing before we get started?
Man, we have finally got into the winter months here in California. Woke up, with that morning fog and everything, and it was kind of chilly. Averaged about 70 degrees today. So thank goodness we are where we're supposed to be. We're a little late, but where we're supposed to be. Welcome you guys to the Demetra K Show. Glad to have you guys back. We have the best co-hosts in the world, because not only are you guys listening to us, we're listening to you, and you guys are educating us as much as we are trying to educate you guys and give you guys ideas in this great conversation. Do us a favor. We have a scrolling banner at the bottom there. You can Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cash, money order, however you guys want to do it, if you want to contribute to the show. And that's a great way to keep these conversations going and keep the content creator motivated to have these conversations. Also, do not forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Google Play and Apple Store. If you don't want to do that, you can sign up right here on YouTube. If you're watching YouTube, you can go to YouTube, sign up there, do the yearly subscription, which I think is very, very the best option to do. That way your debit card or credit card doesn't have to be charged every month. Just get the year subscription going and get it out of the way. Also, we have about a little over 2 weeks to go before the election. If you are not registered to vote, please register to vote. We don't care how you vote, MAGA blue, MAGA red, independent, that's all on you. But it is important that you register to vote and sign your name in for president, sign your name in for senator, sign your name in for city council, sign your name in for school board. If you don't like the candidates there, but please register to vote. That way, when the autopsy is done, they can actually look at the numbers and see what is happening. But I also want to bring up, before we talk about Kamala Harris, do you guys see what happens when you don't give 95% of your group or your people's vote to one party? Do you guys see how quick Kamala Harris came out as she was hemorrhaging votes from the Black men and Black women? Seeing that they're in trouble. When we're not a monolith, they have to work for our vote. Do you see how quick that is? So Demetra, big ups to you, Brother Phil, Vicky Dillard, and the New Black Media for what you guys are doing, and that strategy of shaving off some of those votes, so that now they are looking that they can't give us empty promises. What they're going to start giving us is tangibles, because now they are seeing we mean business.
Absolutely, Brother Reggie, you crazy. Brother Jonell, how you doing? Hope you're doing well, and everybody else that's come on here. So, of course, we are here for a moment to talk about the interview that took place. Seven Cent, how you doing? With Kamala Harris, of course. Again, she was on Fox News, which is a very right-wing media outlet, if you will, and she interviewed with that of Bret Baier, who's been with Fox News since 1998, and he hosts a show called Special Report. So he is one of their premier, talents. Their journalists, I should say. And so he is known to, give hardball interviews and, tough interviews and questions and things like that. Now, of course, we can't show you any of the things here because, we can't. But I'm sure most of y'all have seen it already. Now, I took a lot of notes, okay? And I'll start off with what I saw, and then we can have a conversation. So the first thing that they asked her was about border issues. About her and Biden, basically opening the border, so many people coming over. And she was real combative and dodged the questions and blamed Trump. Okay. Then they also asked her about the transgender surgeries for inmates, in prison and in detention centers of migrants, right? And she blamed Trump. He even now, one thing I loved about this interview is Bret showed her, proof of things that she said. So she couldn't say, well, I didn't say it. She was
pissed. She was pissed.
Yeah, she blamed Trump. Blamed Trump. But she says she's going to follow the law. He says, is that something you would do? And she says, well, I'm going to follow the law. Well, Trump, he also did it too. And then Bret says, well, nobody had any surgeries, transgender surgeries, if you will, inmates while Trump was in office. Okay. So then he says, why do people trust Trump more, regarding the economy? She never answered the question. And she talked about turning the page from the rhetoric. And, just because he asked her, well, what does that mean? Turning the page? Because I guess, what is her campaign slogan? Moving forward or something like that. And again, she blamed Trump and just, basically said, oh, we're moving on from the rhetoric and, this, that, and the other. And then he showed her the clip when she was on The View and another interview she had, Stephen Colbert, when she said she wouldn't do anything differently than the Biden administration. And then he says, so basically, is that still true? And she says, well, she's going to bring fresh new ideas. She's going to bring fresh new ideas. That's pretty much what she said. And then it says, what are you turning the page from? So, of course, I said that already, from Trump's rhetoric. Then the other one was that most Americans believe that the country is on the wrong track. And so he prefaced it by saying, or he filled it in rather by saying, well, y'all have been in office for almost 4 years. So, that's what the country is basing it on. And she blamed Trump. She blamed Trump. She went back to talking about Trump. Never did answer that question. Then he said, well, you've been on the record saying that Trump is unstable. And another word he used, and what was the other word? He's unstable, something. And she says, okay. And she says, well, yeah, he is. And some other Republicans that were with me today, they said the same thing. He says, well, then what would you say about Biden? And when did you know he was unstable and mentally unstable or something like that? When did you know Biden wasn't? And then she, she diverted to Trump. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think the word was, when did you notice cognitive decline? His cognitive decline.
Well, the word was unhinged. Thank you, 6M McKay. Yeah, diverted to Trump. Then asked about Iran, not acting like it's important. Then she diverted to Trump. And my synopsis of the whole interview is I can't really say the word that I put in my notes, but she is very rude, very combative, very argumentative. And I think that I was watching it. I think her strategy was to take on Bret. Like, sucker, what you not gonna do is sit up here and I think that was probably her strategy. But he says, well, is there anything you want us to know about you? Because you've said a lot about Trump, right? Because she did everything. And it was really her opportunity to tell the country and the world, because everybody, I would imagine, was watching, what about you, Kamala, is a good reason to go to the polls? And she kept talking about Trump, 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 Trump. I think that was a strategy. Trump, Trump, Trump. We get it. Trump, you don't like Trump. You don't like his policies, but this was an opportunity to sell the country on your readiness to be president of the United States. But I found it problematic as well, is because she can't take accountability. Not only can she not answer questions, she cannot be pinned down and held accountable for nothing. It was the equivalent of saying, well, I know you saw me break that window, but Trump did it. Trump did it. It's like, okay, well, Kamala, how are you gonna go about fixing the window? Well, see, when Trump did it, you know what I mean? It's like she just could not answer the question. And then what came to my mind is, when she was running for president in 2019, most of her staff quit. When she was the vice president, this term, a lot of her staff quit, and they all said that she's hard to deal with. She's hard to work with. And so when I saw him going back and forth with Bret, which I thought it was nice, I thought he was nice enough, and asked her questions, she wouldn't let that man get a word in edge. Why she kept cutting him off. She kept talking over him, even to a point where he says, okay, we can't talk over each other, right? And it's like, she was going against Bret, but your job was to tell the American people why they should hire you. And he made a good point saying, I get what you're saying. You're saying, and I'm paraphrasing, Trump is a horrible dude, but why is half of the country wanting to vote for him? He says in some cases, y'all are tied, and in some cases, he's ahead. So if he is all that you're saying, why hasn't that resonated to the American people? But my synopsis of this interview is she had an opportunity to knock it out the park by selling herself. But what she did is prove that you can't say nothing to her, and she will not be pinned down and be held responsible for nothing. Now, I'm going to say this too. This is just off the cuff, off the record. Any man that dated her, you might want to check your receipts. That's all I'm saying, because, man, she liked to blame people a lot. Anyway, Donovan.
Man, you did a great synopsis there. Took a lot of my talking points, but hey, we saw the same thing. I mean, we saw the same thing. I looked at the interview objectively, and one of the first things I noticed is she kept going back to Trump, which is fine. She said, look, and I'm paraphrasing, basically what she's trying to communicate to you guys is Trump is a threat to democracy. He said he's going to be a dictator on day one. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. And I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute. Trump is a threat to democracy, but yet you were selected and didn't even go through a primary. But he's a threat to democracy when technically you're an illegitimate candidate. So it didn't make sense to me how she could sit up there and bring that up constantly of being a threat. When a person is put into a position without the people voting on it or anything of that nature, that reminds me of dictatorship, authoritarianism. So basically, how could she talk about Trump and we get it. Trump bad, Trump is bad. But at the same time, how can you sit your ass up there knowing you're an illegitimate candidate yourself and think that you're the better option? Thus, as I've said before, if you guys have followed me on my own show and my own channel and my own Facebook and all that other stuff, I've said before, they should have invoked Article 25. Put her in as the vice president because of Joe's mental decline. Then she would have at least been legitimate. And let's face it, incumbency, you win your that seat almost 90-something% of the time. The way they did this was so messed up to where she's always going to have an asterisk next to her name. And the body language for me said it all. She was uncomfortable. She had this arrogance of, how dare you ask me answers or questions that nobody else has bothered to ask me. Nobody bothered to push against me. She tried to go off with the sister girl. I'm strong. Let me finish. That don't work with Zaddy. You can get away with that with some black men. Not Ike Turner over here. You're not gonna get away with that with me. But that with Zaddy, that don't work. Okay, that don't work with Zaddy. So I mean, you could just see how upset she was. And then again, if you guys noticed her $800 microphone earrings, obviously she wasn't hearing what they were saying.
Allegedly.
Her $800 earring, because it's almost like, did you guys see that part where she kind of paused and it's like she was kind of waiting for something to come through the alleged earrings? And I said, oh, she's done because she can't hear what they're trying to tell her to say, whatever, allegedly. So you guys, this woman is running for the president of the United States, and a seasoned journalist dismantled her. And we're not even talking about on the world stage. We're talking about right here in the United States. What will this woman do? We talk about substantial threat. Do you guys realize that outside of the Western world, the patriarchy is very strong? The patriarchy is very strong. Not saying that there isn't strong women candidates. There have been strong women candidates. She just ain't one of them.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go to this question really quick, and then I'm going to go. Beverly Perkins Addison, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. It says, hating on black women is crazy from a black woman. Just weird. Tomato. You say it's hate. I say it's not hate. I mean, that's your prerogative if you want to think that is hate. But of course, that's the problem with society. Just because she's black, so you say, nobody can say nothing about her. Do you think that everything she does is good? Is she above critique? How can you be running to be the president of the United States and you are above critique? Y'all just think that she should just be able to do and say whatever she want to do, huh? Well, Trump, y'all wouldn't give him a pass. Or if it was Jill Stein or Cornel West or anybody else, but Kamala, she's supposed to just get a pass to just roam free and do whatever she want, huh? It was a terrible interview, and I said it. It was a horrible interview. It sucked. She was combative. She was rude. She was arguing with Bret when she should have been proving her point to the American people why she is fit to lead. But what she did is add on to what people already know about Kamala, and that you can't say nothing to her. That's the point that she proved. Rude and cutting the man off. Hell, we could barely even get he can even get half the question now before she got something to say and kept on going with the word salad. He kept, even Charlemagne yesterday when she was talking and she says, I got 2 more points. He's like, for real? Oh, you got a filibuster going on. That's what he said. She just wants to, I don't know if that's a strategy. Just talk. But it's like, all right, sis, you're talking, but you ain't saying nothing. Tell us why we should hire you. So Beverly, your candidate, Kamala, did not do that. Don't be mad with me. Be mad with her. Moving right along. Let's see here. Thunder says, question, rude, argumentative, combative, and can't take accountability. Maybe you better stop. He says, I'm joking. Calm down, everyone. Just breathe. Take a breath. But I mean, some people could probably make that correlation, if you will. Angry black woman. I don't like to use the term because I think it's misapplied a lot, because I think there are some sisters that are angry, and I think some sisters get mistaken for being angry when they're not. Panther Strike, how you doing? Mr. 619, how you doing? Says, come on, Demetra. He was just as rude as cutting her off. I'm not a fan of Harris, but at least try and be biased. No. What you need to do is wipe your glasses off. I watched an interview and I watched it very well, and that man couldn't even get a question out. And how long do y'all really think that Kamala should be able to speak? Do you think she should be able to take 10 minutes to answer a question? The interview was 30 minutes long, if that? You think she should be able to just speak indefinitely, go on and on and on and on? I don't think that man was rude at all. Listen, I'm not necessarily a Bret fan. I don't know that much about him. I've seen some things with him, but I think he was doing his job as an interviewer, is to hold her feet to the fire and keep her honest, but she was not allowing him to do that because she kept on fighting with him and cutting him off. I don't have a reason to lie on Kamala. It's just not my thing.
Yeah,
I mean, hold on. When Trump went to the National Association of Black Journalists, they did the same thing. They came out with both barrels blazing. They being that one sister was Rachel Scott. She talked to that man horribly, but you know, he kept answering the questions and stuff, and he let her know, yeah, you was that was rude or whatever the case is. But like, where's the same energy?
You know, and I just want to add this too. You guys got to remember, it's an interview. So in an interview, the interviewee doesn't run the interview. It's the interviewer. So Bret Baier leads the questions where he wants to lead him. If you're not answering the question, his job is to bring you back to center to answer the question. It's just so funny how you could be the interviewee and then you're the victim. But you willingly sat down there to answer questions willingly. And that's his job. So, you know, you gotta, what kind of world are we living in where everything is bizarro, everything is upside down, you know, and people don't see the thing for the way it is. You are being interviewed. You do not run the interview. The interviewer runs the interview, and you answer the questions to the best of your ability, and you be done with it.
Yeah, absolutely right. Deborah, how you doing? Says shielding her from tough interviews did her a disservice. I totally agree. They should have had her do the tough interviews first. I think Bret should have been her first one. And then the rest of them would have been easy, you know, sailing. She would have known what to expect, get the hard ones out the way. But she waited until 20-something days until election to do that. And somebody said that her people was kept wrapping them up. So the interview was supposed to be longer. Yeah, they saw her crashing out. That's why they kept on probably wanting to wrap it up, because she was crashing out. I mean, you could tell she was so uneasy. She was like mad. She's mad. It's like, what, you thought you was going to go on Fox News of all places? You know how to get down. You thought you was going to go over there and get done like everybody else doing, Charlemagne and, you know, everybody else, call her daddy, just laughing and playing and he, ha, ha, talking about your greens and your mama all day long. You know what you would sign up for. What was you mad for? You know, like I said again, people were trying to learn about her. Give me a reason to vote for her. And she showed her whole ass is what she did. Anyway, who else came on here? Panther Strike says that is what and why voters are steered to Trump. Maybe. Salam, how you doing? Says time to teach Democrats a big lesson. We gonna see. Meska, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Michael, okay, so you saying Trump, Vance, America first, okay. Vadim, how you doing? Thank you. Quicks, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And V Costa, he says the Democrats are the threat to democracy for suing, bribing, and committing law. Fair to keep all of their opponents off the ballot. Jill Stein, Trump, RFK, and Cornel West. That is the accusation. Yeah, I know, especially with RFK and Cornel West, they was hard for them to get on the ballot, and they're still not on a lot of ballots throughout the country. So, you know, of course, there are independent candidates. Let's see, Daryl, he says Puppet Master Obama pulling the wrong strings. Kamala Zirconia. What? Juggernaut, how you doing? Said there was rumors she always had an earpiece during interviews, and I guess she couldn't get a spoon-fed answer to her. Now, I don't know how true it is. You know, a lot of times people say things, so I don't want to further that narrative because we don't know if it's true or not. Samuel C., how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Miss D says, I love my black men. I know that's right. Hey, Average Logical Thinker, how you doing? I was thinking about you yesterday. We didn't see you on. Let's see. Who else came on here? Alteria, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Tyler, hope you're doing well. Yeah, y'all taking exception to what I said, black. I'm just saying. Kasal, how you doing? Says Kamala is married to a white man. Yes, she is. The Average Logical Thinker says the interview was atrocious. She couldn't answer a question without referring to Trump. Is he also running the country currently? Yeah, that's the same thing I was thinking. He's not president. He's like Bret said, y'all been in office for 4 years. What are you moving on from? You yourself, you know, it's Trump. Connell, how you doing? Says, hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? And Shakir, how are you doing? You put a link in the description. I don't know what it is. Corey Smith, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Joanne, how you doing? You says this comment is my personal opinion. Kamala Harris is a plant for the Israel agenda. Kamala is all that you say she is. Plus, she thinks she's a dictator, which is a cover up for her inadequacy. The woman is not presidential material, not qualified. And I want to know how she was able to not have to primary. She is cooked as the day is long, weak, Harris is done, and she will be the headpiece for Israel. It remains to be seen, but yeah, she's very open about her support for the country. So absolutely, Yickle. But how you doing? It says, no, ma'am, no ham. She needs to answer the questions. It's her time to show she is the best for the responsibility. No, they don't want her to do that. Patrice, how you doing? Says, I was hoping he would ask Kamala about allocating the majority of funding to white political firms, not the political firms, not the NAACP. The NAACP president, Derek Johnson, is upset because this political funding has not been rectified. Yeah, all that money they raise, her campaign goes and hires majority of white advertising firms and not black ones, right? And so they're like, wait a minute. You got a lot of money from black people and everybody. What about these, black firms that hardly get any work when it's campaign season? And here you are supposed to be this black woman, but yet you're not making sure that these black businesses are getting a piece of the pie as well. So, but
did anybody remember the one thing that Bret asked her? He said, you say that you're turning the page, whatever, and what's going to be different, paraphrasing, about your administration than Biden's administration. And she just was like, I'm going to be different. What kind of answers are those? I'm going to be different. Specifics. What's going to be different about you? Basically, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, Brother John L., you say she won't make it, and what even qualify her, not to mention what she is doing in her current position of power. Majority are sold and blinded by pacification over any true qualifications. Yeah, I mean, and I always say we'll know when we know, right? November 6th, we'll know if she would be successful. She got a 50-50 chance of being successful. So, but you're right. Let's see. And Quincy says, I love when women get other women in check when they wrong. Uh-oh. Sister Shirley says, no one is hating on Kamala. He destroyed her in that interview. And I think he was really nice. I think he was trying not to. I think he was really trying to have a conversation with her, but she wasn't having it. She was not going to allow him to get the drop on her. And I think it was very unfortunate because that was her opportunity to sell herself. But she talked about Trump. I couldn't believe it. It's crazy. Let's see. I'm just reading some of these comments. Dorothy, how you doing? It says, Shalom, family. Kamala did her usual talking loud, but saying absolutely nothing. Sky Queen, how you doing? Fluffy Bunny, what's going on with you? He says, Bret just shook. He says that Indian. Demario, he says she only gave him 30 minutes. She intentionally rambled so he couldn't follow up and ask her questions. I totally believe that was her strategy, but it just made her look very combative. And I don't know if that was a strategy. Edgy, how you doing? Says, hi, Demetri, and the recovering Democrat. Doe says they should have a final debate on Fox News, and she won't show up. Sky Queen says the truth can be answered in 10 words or less. Anything more than that is usual BS. Usually BS. I totally agree with you. Sharon says Bret was a lot more forceful with Trump. I'd imagine he was, but and I didn't see that interview, to be honest with you. But what she did there was it was almost kind of hard to watch. Like, man, you got all these people showing up and all these people gonna watch and you doing that? Man, when you show up, you don't talk about the other person. That's like going on a date and somebody says, well, tell me about yourself. Well, my ex, he was just a horrible person. My ex, he did this. My ex, he did that. Oh, really? So tell me how you liked your last job. Oh, yeah, but my ex is a horrible person. Oh, well, why should I date you? I don't know, but my ex, he's a horrible.
That is a great analogy. Have you guys ever been on a date and the person that you went on a date with is talking about their last relationship? Total turnoff. Total turnoff.
That's exactly what it was. I can't tell you about me, but I can sure tell you about my ex. He was horrible. It was crazy. Abdiel, you on here tripping? I'm seeing your comments. Anthony, how you doing? Says she did great. What's wrong with you? Why are you down on her? She did a great job. Why are you so damn emotional? Why? I'm serious. Why are y'all so emotional? I can't. Ooh, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I thought I was the only one that makes you do that, on live. I haven't pissed you off in a long time.
Why are y'all down on her? It's too early. I'm gonna keep going. Xavier, how you doing? Says, oh, please, if Trump, y'all whining, he cut her off. Okay. It's not as early. It's still early. Let's see who else. Asia, how you doing? He says, so what is Trump going to do? No, gonna keep on keeping on. What is Trump gonna do for Black people? Hey, Mr. Norris, how you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even respond to that. I saw it and I was just like,
yeah. I want y'all. What I want you to do is go into Chat GPT and say, what is an original question I can ask that has not already been asked before? Like, trip us up, challenge us. Mr. Norris, she says, only man that can stop her from talking is you crazy. Downtown Willie Brown. You crazy. Sunlight, how you doing? I hope you're doing well.
Well, and also Montel Williams.
Lena, how you doing? Says, love is the power we need in our world. I vote for love, true rule, lost humanity. Let love rule. Yes. S. Williams,
Yes,
how you doing?
Yes, I went to my bank yesterday and I said, look, I can only pay you in joy.
And they said, get your Black ass out of here. And we don't want no love either. Okay. You can't even put love into the not to you, Lena. We just having a conversation. You can't even put love into the love offering in church.
Right. Remember your favorite movie, The Mac? I don't care what happened to you. That's basically what the bank told me. I don't care what happened to you. You get me my money.
For I put what? For I put to your Goldie Mac. Anyway, S. Williams says, I probably wouldn't have voted for Michelle Obama either because of her policies and the fact her husband, but she would have been a stronger candidate even on a global scale and no doubt would have won. She might have won, but I this is my personal opinion. I don't think Michelle Obama likes a certain type of Black people too much. I think we make her itch and she just would rather not with us. She said she was upset because we did not show up for Hillary like we did her husband. So I think she just comes off as like she's annoyed, But I don't know, Michelle. I could be wrong. Big Bo, 503, how you doing? Says, we suffer from mass delusion, you think? FM, how you doing? Says, Kamala was wearing, y'all crazy with these earrings. Now, we need to see some receipts on that. Dave, how you doing? Says, thanks for Congressional Black Caucus not supporting a true Black woman. B10. Okay, and Panther Strike said, Demetria, Donovan and family, if this doesn't put the nail in the coffin about this Desi, I don't know what will opportunity to bring your A game, and she failed. Buck Wild, how you doing? How you doing, King Buck Wild? Long time no see.
Yeah, but you got to remember, you guys got to remember, when you're born a Democrat, you're raised a Democrat, that's hard to turn your back on. Like I said, I'm a recovering Democrat, so I cheer for them, but I know better for myself. So there's still a very good chance she could win. People will see this interview and think she did it. That's right. She told him, girl, did you see him put her in his place? Oh, girl, yeah. There's still a good chance. So you never say never.
Jean-Claude Lambert, how you doing? Says, now will Trump go on MSNBC? Nope. I don't know. Has he gone on there or not? I don't know if he has or he not. And will he? He should, but I will tell you one thing, he's done a lot more interviews than she has. Like, Trump won't stop talking, and that's probably part of his problem sometimes. Anyway, let's see.
We have a troll on here. Chi Cullen, she says, she will win. You're delusional. If she will win and I'm delusional, why is she scrambling specifically to give something to Black people when she has less than 70% of the Black man vote and the Black women are falling right behind them? So as we know by mathematics, if you don't get at least 90% or more of the Black vote, you can't win as a Democrat. Plus, we didn't even count of all the white women that wasn't with her, and I mean Hillary, in that time. So show me your math. She can't win.
Like I said, people ask me all the time. I'm like, well, no one we know, because polls will say one thing, then they'll say another, then God knows. So we'll know for sure. I'm imagining, November 6th, who will be the next president of the United States. Chantel, how you doing? Let's see here. Let me go down. Tell it like it is. How you doing? It says, I do not want that incompetent woman in charge of our military. Uh-oh. Aziz, how you doing? Says Vice President Harris was angry and mad. She didn't answer the question, and she didn't apologize to Lincoln Riley's mother about what happened to her daughter. Yeah. Is that the one? She was like, my heart. I'm so heartbroken. I'm so heartbroken. I'm so heartbroken. It's like, well, answer the question, because that was in direct correlation to the Biden administration opening those borders the way they did, allowing people to come over. That should not be over here. And the same thing happened here in Houston. Little 14-year-old, I think her name was Jocelyn. She was going to the store, and some immigrants dragged her under the bridge and did the unthinkable to her. And they had to find her body.
Yeah, and even former President Clinton even said the same thing. If it wasn't for the policy, some of that young lady would be alive today.
Right. Naya, how you doing? He says twisted coverage. Okay. Terry, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Perry, what's going on? She says he's faced all the networks and debaters and otherwise. Yeah, I think Trump has been on quite a few interviews, but I don't know exactly all that he's been on. Oh, really? How you doing? Lady and Zinga, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Sakari, how you doing? He says Kamala is anti-black. I can see why you would say that. Raul, how you doing? So you're speaking
Trump
to
bad. Trump bad.
You stupid. Marlon, how you doing? Holla at Dre, how you doing? He says Kamala use fee. And Corinne, how you doing? He says it's given that she would be trash on right-wing media, but she was courageous enough to take the heat, unlike the other guy. Was it courageous, or was it, more or less people want to hear from you? I mean, if you can't take a tough interview from Fox, then what makes you think you should be able to stand on top in front of the world and govern the United States? I think it's all about how you look at it. You should be, if you're ready for the job, you should be able to answer tough questions, not be, batting them away, and being on the defensive. Just answer the question, because the things that he was saying to her was provable. No, go ahead.
And again, you're a politician. So what's courageous about doing your job, which is answering questions? If you're going to be the president, you're going to have a press secretary. So your job is to be accountable to the American people. So what's courageous about doing something that's part of your job? That's why I hate the word heroes, because it's overused. Everybody's a hero now, so there's nothing courageous about her doing an interview as a politician.
Hello, Stephen and Sabrina Music. It says, thank you for your program. It's refreshing to see you both keeping it real. We trying. Thank you. But yeah, some people, I always say I can argue with facts and even things that are close to it, but I can never argue with you about your emotions. How do I do that? I can't tell you how to feel. So, not you, but I'm saying people coming on here saying we tripping and stuff.
Yeah, again, we have a lot of trolls here. And again, Chi Cullen, she says, he or she says, Trump won't even interview. I can't see, I only got my bifocals in. Trump won't even interview with 60 Minutes. Well, did Kamala go to that roasting thing that happens every year for the Catholic Charities? She was the first politician in 60 years not to go. See, so we can do this all day. However, if your candidate is going to win, why are you on this show bringing up all of these things to cause chaos? It's amazing.
I got you, brother Reggie. I should have been made you a moderator, but I got you. I brought it right here. It's free. The average logical thing, it says Democrats are extremely emotional, and the internet friend cussed so bad talking about Trump to me, and most of it was internet fodder based on lies and assumption. I responded with "God bless you." You better than me. I would have responded with one finger, and I ain't gonna tell you which one it is. Tracy, did I say hello to you? And Patricia says, do you think Black Americans can initiate our our political party, we have 4 years before the next election. Brother Rizza stated we can start by building locally, then nationally. I think we can start, but I think we got a lot of brainwashing to do. I think that's where we are right now. Our people are very programmed to thinking that, well, any political party ain't gonna save nobody. I don't care who you are. But our folks, especially with the Democratic Party, we just think, they sitting up there next to God and Jesus. I don't know. The lady, how you doing, says, I wonder if she calls Dougie Trump. What? Jeez Louise, woman. Oh, Trump. Gary Mack, how you doing, Jupiter? How you doing? Says that interview exposed her. She thought she could use her gender and lawyer tricks from California to sidestep, rather. But the emotions was the rope that got her. Yeah, it was crazy. I'm like, what the hell? It was kind of hard to watch. And it was almost kind of embarrassing. Like, girl, you finna crash out like that? Like a lot of people watching you and you crashing out for what? Just answer the question. Her face was just like she was mad that he was like, what did you think? You thought you was gonna talk about trading collard green recipes? What did you think he was going on there to do? I'm baffled.
She would have got a lot more, I think, good feedback is if she just answered the question and people could say, well, she went on Fox News, even though she didn't want to go. She went on Fox News and she answered the questions and, she left. See, the problem with Kamala Harris, and you guys could disagree with me if you want or not, it doesn't matter. They did everything backwards. You should have gone on Fox News Network the minute you were selected. Just like Demetra said, then you have a chance to know how to spin interviews. If you could get past Fox, any interview after that should be a cakewalk. You know what I mean? If you knock the hard ones out first, anything after that's going to be a cakewalk. But she didn't do that. She went into the last minute with 2 weeks to go. When you're a month out of a political campaign, and you're a month out and you're scrambling to do all these interviews and stuff like that, you've lost. You've lost because there's something in your internal polling that is showing you're not moving the needle. The enthusiasm's not there. Show me the enthusiasm of a Kamala Harris waltz campaign. Where? We're in the United States. Are people like, yes, 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 we're going to do this, whatever. I'm here in California, Democratic state. You don't see no Kamala Harris stuff and Tim Walz stuff, at least in the Inland Empire that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I see, here in Texas, you're going to see a lot more Trump Vance, but I do see Harris Walz stuff as well when I'm out and about, but I would say not as much as Trump, but obviously, it's considered to be a red state, right? Lions Den, how you doing? All right, so I know I'm behind in these comments. Brother Abdul, how you doing? Says young fighting over at Donald Trump and Kamala like we are getting reparations or a hate crime bill. Well, guess what? We didn't make it easier for them to get our vote this time. Okay, the Democrats did not get and may not get the votes that they used to getting from Black Americans because Black Americans are tired of being used. You know what I mean? So regardless. Charlene, how you doing? Let's see who else is on here. Al K, how you doing? Says, okay, so Black people will not support Black people. Way to show this country ignorance is bliss. No, you ignorant. You ignorant. Because as I said, we've supported Maxine Waters. What has she done for you? Sheila Jackson. How does she change Black people's lives here in Houston? Who else is James Clyburn? All them people, the baby boomers and the silent generation, they Black. They've been supported. We supported Black politicians, and not all are bad, but a lot of them, we supported them to a fault, to where our neighborhoods are the most dilapidated, the most underfunded, the most unhealthy, the most of everything bad and the least of everything good. And you talking about we won't support Black people? Is you crazy? Yeah, I said is you crazy? Like when is what? This is maybe you can help me, okay? What is the cutoff for lunacy? When do we get to start saying, okay, that's enough lunacy for today? I'm not gonna. Would you support, let's say, a restaurant? Okay, every time you went, they burnt your food, and they said, "Well, you just won't support me." No shit, because you keep burning my food. maybe if you start making my food the way I like it, I'll support you. I mean, like, what are we doing here? You know?
Yeah, and we have to talk about reality. You've got a bunch of people who are born and raised Democrats, and I'm not saying that they're brainwashed, because if that's how you roll, that's how you roll. But 9 times out of 10, most Black people are born and raised Democrats. In 4 years, you can't expect Black people to come together and form a new party. If that's the case, if that's what we want to do, and it's going to be successful, it's not going to be successful. The powers that be. Think about this. I want you guys to think about this. The Democratic Party fought a civil war so that they could maintain slavery. Then after slavery, they instituted Jim Crow. And Jim Crow is still, parts of it are still alive today. All of this stuff. The Democrats fought against civil rights. They have mastered Stockholm Syndrome against Black people. And you expect what took almost 160 years to be deprogrammed in 4, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in our lifetime. I know that for a fact. I'm a recovering Democrat, so I'm on the road to recovery. A lot of you guys, even though you're not in recovery, you need to be, you're still doing what you're doing. So, the unity of us coming together, it's not going to happen anytime soon. It's not going to happen.
Laura, how you doing? Says, I come from a family with a diverse political views and have friends on both sides of the political spectrum. I am told that I need to be open-minded, so I am genuinely trying to understand why I should support Kamala Harris. How does she advocate for conservative rights, and what can she do to assure us that she will be a president for all people, regardless of political affiliation? How does she uphold conservative values, and what steps will she take to ensure she represents and serves all? Now, see, I think that's an awesome question, but she's not going to answer it. Now, I say the same thing. I'm looking for a reason to vote for Kamala, but she hasn't given me one. I mean, she just hasn't. So I'm with you. Give me a reason. But instead, she goes on places like Fox News and spars with the damn interviewer who's trying to ask her questions that she doesn't want to answer, and perhaps she couldn't give them the answers, the questions she wanted to answer, like she probably does everybody else. I don't know. I could be wrong, but something tells me I'm not. But I agree with you.
And then if you talk about conservative issues, her biggest thing is women's deletion rights. So that's definitely not conservative. So we know that a woman who doesn't have any children for whatever reasons, which is okay, how are you going to tell other women that they should have the right to delete their babies or whatever that they're going to do when, that it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So I don't know, to me, and I want to be honest with y'all, I'm not watching interviews with Kamala or anybody for that matter. Like, I hope she fumbles. I hope they, tear her out the frame. I'm not watching for that. I'm actually watching to see if there's something I can learn. I'll be honest with you. The last couple of interviews she's done, Charlemagne, I didn't watch the Howard Stern one, and something else she did. I was just like, I don't want to hear about your mama no more. Okay. I don't want to hear about your mama being a single mama. I don't want to hear about that. We know. Tell us something new, anything. But I think this was one of the this one and the National Association of Black Journalists. I think these are the only 2 interviews that really took her to task, because y'all saw when she left. And why y'all wasn't mad with the National Association of Black Journalists? Why y'all just mad with Bret? Because they took her to task too. When she walked up out of there, she called them all kind of MFers. She did. She was mad. But I don't know. Ernest, how you doing? Says, another useless Black media. Shame on your asses. And shame on your mama. Okay. Next. Jerry, how you doing? Says, old-fashioned 60 sit-in couch. Okay, so you sitting on the couch still? Let's see.
I will never understand how people who are committed to the party, Democratic Party, want to come on a platform that is open to different opinions and stuff, and then want to just slam us and do whatever. But I do know the Democratic Party is paying a lot of these shills to go on and be disruptive. So what does that tell you?
But
another authoritarian tactic that dictators use.
But the crazy part, they're not being disruptive. Ain't nobody disrupted by that. Like I said, you want to be emotional, that's on you. I don't go to bed with you at night. Thank God. You know what I mean? I can only imagine.
Where is Fluffy at? You need to bring that up.
Oh, You know what? He's taking a nap. How you doing? His name is Ray Ray, by the way. Ray Ray. Oh, he'll make an appearance. J Max, how you doing? Says, I like when Bret asked her what her plans are. Her answer was to Google her website. Shaking my head, she can't even verbally explain it. No, she's used to resting on pretty, you know, he. And like I said, I think the man was either cordial, very amiable, and, you know, asking her questions, and she just wanted to just holler and, you know, and cut him off and stuff. People talking about he cut her off, like, damn, the man couldn't even ask her a question. Like I said, how long was she supposed to talk? Forever? The man is interviewing her. It's not a filibuster. It's not talking till you can't talk no more. It's an interview. I ask you a question, you answer it. Maybe I do a follow-up, and then I ask you another one. Not you just keep on talking. That can I finish? Let me finish. Wow, that's crazy. Shake and Bake, how you doing? Says game over Harris. I don't know. You will know when we know. Studio, how you doing? Says Kamala is not black. Okay, you wanted us to know that. All right. JL, how you doing? Says no vote for blue. Whoever never did nothing for you. Damn. Lady D, how you doing? Says Mayor Brandon Johnson in Chicago bringing illegal immigrants in our people community. Yep. And I think he's going to pay for it at the polls too. I think he's going to be one term. I really do. I hope so. Kathy, let's say hello to you. Says Dems only care about getting our vote. Now they have illegals to court. They moved on. Yeah, but not so fast. Because you see, she had to pretend like she cared about black men. User, how you doing? Says, why does the blacks want to vote in a future Latin American government? The Democrats won't need the blacks in 20 years. Hell, I say 5.
I say 8 in the next 2 election cycles. I say 8.
Yeah. Tracy says, I wasn't raised Democrats nor in the church. Okay. Let's see who else is on here. I am Kepra L. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. You say great factual points, sir. Okay. Uncle G, what's going on with you? Says we dropped the ball when we didn't support Cynthia McKinney when she ran for president. Yeah. But there's a lot of people that you can support. You know, I said I'm not supporting Kamala. I'm just not. I don't care who gets mad. They can stomp in the ground like Rumpelstiltskin all they want to, and I will never care. I really won't, because I don't care who you voting for. Got you, Donovan.
And then I want you guys to understand this. You want to see what's going on with the Democratic policy and the Republican policy. We said this on the show yesterday. The Republicans are in on this. White supremacy, both parties uphold white supremacy. They're both corporate parties. They want this illegal immigration because it's cheaper labor, right? So the thing is, the Republicans are letting the Democrats get the heat about it, and they're trying to see how we're going to react, and they see that it's not a very popular thing. They're going to legalize these people one way or another. It takes 5 years to do a immigration case. What do you think those people are going to do in 5 years? They're going to have babies. So right now, it ain't going to matter, but we got to fight for the future of our children and our grandchildren. Because again, look at California. This is the blueprint of Democratic policy. Black people have no political voice here. So if we're 46 million people in the United States per the census, give or take, they let between 11 and 21 million illegal people into this country. How much of a voice are we going to have in 8 years? Politically, we're going to be wiped out. And it's not even us. It's going to be our grandchildren, because while those people are waiting for their cases, they're going to be adjudicated. Yeah, you came here illegally. Get the hell out, right? They're going to be adjudicated to do that. They came in illegally. But guess what? Oh, no, I got the baby. You can't take me out, you Dominican baby, right? They got the baby. There's their anchor baby. They're not going anywhere. 5 years. They're going to be having children. Those children will be naturalized citizens. And your black ass and my black ass's grandkids will have no political voice in this country.
True Essence, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. It says it will be the end of America if Kamala gets elected. That is the word on the street. Jay Bubba, how you doing? Says, notice the National Association of Black Journalists asked Trump about Sandra Massey, but they didn't ask Kamala. Yeah, they had a different set of interviewers as well. Robert, how you doing? Says, how can any woman be all right with men in women's sports? Yeah, that's a leftist policy as well. They are okay with that. Brother Jonell says Revelation 18:14, consider the time 13. Yes, indeed. All right, let me skip down. And Brother Perry, how you doing? Says not too many of Harris wall signs out here in Virginia either, but she'll probably win Virginia anyway. We'll find out, won't we? We will.
Late in the midnight hour, them votes are gonna show up in the midnight hour.
Well, we don't want to do no speculation here. How you doing, MC Fact? Hope you're doing well. I'll just read the comment. Let's see here. I'm just go all the way down to the bottom. Reynard, did I say hello to you? If not, how you doing? Says Dimitri Donovan. Someone told me that the Democrats are sending boule shields into spaces like these to cause disruption. These white and black folks I saw watching her looked disgusted. Yeah, well, I mean, they don't bother me. They want to take the time to come here and type their little comment. It's you know, it's democracy. They can do that. Let's see here. Who else came on here? Who else? Dre, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. He says, touchdown, Timmy. You talking about Tim Walls? Khalil, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Fresh Air, he says, migrants are getting the new standard wage 15 plus in government grants. And there's going to be more of that if Kamala's in office. It's just the truth. Cole, how you doing? Says, isn't it funny how she said she would not do anything for black people, but now she needs us to be president? That's why I'm saying they need us still, right? But we going to mess around and F it up. You know,
and notice in her little plan, and others. It's always and others. There's nothing specific. And then, by the way, I'm still waiting for the Biden-Harris administration to stand by me like we stood by them. Asians got something. LGBT got something. Dreamers got something. Illegals got something. We're still waiting for us to get something. So you actually think this woman's going to get into office and do something? You guys are going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe again? That's what they think you're going to do.
All right, Lily Pad, how you doing? Says, I'm in Southern California and I've never seen more Trump flags than I do now. Cali is waking up maybe a little too late. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like people ask me all the time, who do you think is going to win? I'm like, well, I can predict some things, but this, it cannot, you know, we'll know when we know. That's why I'm not one to say she's going to lose or he's going to win or vice versa, because we just don't know, right? People can change their minds.
Dimitri Damas, I have faith that you know what is going to happen.
that is one of the names that they call me, but I just can't and won't do it. Let's see here. FM says no more trick bag language. No, and others. No people of color or no minorities. Yep. Perry says Kamala is trying to do a Hail Mary with this black man. BS. Yeah. And the other thing too is, like I said, I've seen people say I'm gonna sue. You know, it's going to open up for lawsuits. Yeah, you're making a plan. That's why they put the term others in there as well, so they could probably get around that. But we know when they say others, it usually means others and never black, right? It's just the way it is. But it's like, wow, Kamala, so you can do something, huh? You know, but it took her all this time to say she was going to do it. And it's a nothing burger, honestly. This is a black man plan. She got us a nothing burger. And I'm at Van Jones talking about, oh, it's a love letter. It's a love letter for Kamala. Kamala has finally mama. She's finally mamala. Kamala is finally mamala. She's a mamala to us. I'm like, that is so cringy. Mamala. So you black men need Kamala to be their mama. It's just so weird. It's like, I don't know how to feel about that. You know, I think a lot of people use the term uncomfortable too loosely, but that sure made me uncomfortable. She's finally our mamala. You wanted to breastfeed you too? Like, what are we doing? You know, tie you up to the apron strings, rock you to bed at night, read you a bedtime story. I don't know. But yeah, it's too late. And I've actually seen a lot of brothers say, nah, I really ain't going to vote for you. You tried magic. Obama came out and castigated black men. How dare you? And it seems like the more and more they do, the less and less, you know, a lot of brothers want to vote for them. So I don't know.
Well, you know, when you got white people running your command, put your butt out a little bit more. That ain't how black people walk. You got to walk like this, you know, a little funky thing like that, you know. You've got white people telling you how to be black in the campaign, allegedly, because that's what it seems like to me. Because if she was a natural black person, she'd be like, no, we don't do that. In our community, no, we don't do that either. This is how this is how we talk, which again, download the African Diaspora News Channel app and we can talk the way we talk. So again.
There you go. There you go. Diane, how you doing? It says you voting for the couch too. See, a lot of people say they're going to be couch surfing this election. Well, you know, a no vote is a vote for Trump. That's Democrat math. A no vote is a vote for Trump, which is assumption, very presumptuous as well. That that means you were going to be voting for Biden. Well, how did or Kamala? How did you know I was going to be doing that? See, that's what you get. What they say when you assume about some people are asses or something like that.
I got a question for you. What happened to Mr. Obama? All of a sudden, he gets all this heat and he disappeared. What do you think happened to him?
And he went back on Martha's Vineyard with Michelle Obama and was told, don't you bring yourself out here until it's over. Okay. You out there making it worse. I mean, if she don't win, one could probably attribute that to good old Baraka. God Nasir, how you doing? Says she ducked the question on reparations by saying we need to study. Why don't she talk about real issues? They are knocking down old project buildings, new housing in black neighborhoods that's low income, promising black people that they will have first dibs in, denying them because of bad credit or old felonies. Now you see white people, most of them are the low income apartments that used to be where the projects were. Yeah, you see it all the time, even here in Houston. See a lot of gentrification going on, but she talking about we're going to be building 3 million more homes. And as J.D. Vance said when he was debating walls, he's like, well, I mean, if we got a housing crisis, why are they allowing all these people to come over here, making it harder for Americans? Americans are going to have to compete for that housing. So basically what he was saying is she's telling y'all one thing about what she's going to do, but look at what she's actually doing. She's actually doing the opposite.
You better thank a union. You better thank a union. McFack says, Demetra, did you hear the latest? Harris said she was brought up in the black church.
I did see that. And I saw Brother Damien says, I don't believe that for one bit. I don't believe for one moment that Kamala was brought up in the black church. Did you sing choir? Was you an usher? You know, what was you doing up in there? Was you a president of the youth meetings? What was you doing?
Yeah, now I want you guys to think about this. She says she was brought up in the black church. She says her pastor is the pastor up in Oakland, California, wherever he's at, right? Or San Francisco, wherever it's at. How could you be brought up in the black church if you were in Canada during those formative years? So how could you be brought up in the black?
I'd imagine they got some black churches in,
They do, but where she was at, no.
I don't know.
No, because she said her pastor was the one in San Francisco. So how are you brought up in the black church if you were in Canada during your formative years?
I don't know where that lady, what was going on. Reason why I don't really go back and forth with that, because I don't know. Apparently Candace Owens is trying to get to the bottom of it, but I don't know where Kamala, what she was doing, because we don't know what Kamala was doing, right? And where she was every moment of the day. Now, I don't know if she was brought up in no black church. Something tells me that she wasn't, It's just kind of hard for me to believe especially the way she sang One Nation Under a Groove. I was like, ain't no way. I know damn well you wasn't in no black choir nowhere, okay? Not singing off beat, you wasn't. Mescalina says Trump will win just because she says she's not going to do anything for black people. Remember, don't worry, Kamala. It's on the way. Karma's on the way, rather. Got you, Donovan. So yeah, anyway, y'all, that's our time. We are going to get out of here. Brother Samuel, how you doing? Says greetings to you both. Happy holiday. Yes, Day of Atonement. Holy Day of Atonement. What is it? The 29th anniversary of the Million Man March. Today, where Minister Farrakhan gathered over 2 million men to Washington for the Million Man March. Was in 1995, which was a glorious historic day. I wish to see something like that again, where black men got the blueprint and they were supposed to take it back to their communities and family and get to work. So it was a glorious day. Let's see here. Electrical helper job one. It says building houses with cheap immigrant labor. I've seen a lot of reports on that. So you're definitely on to something. Rascast, how you doing? It says it's been reported Barack Obama will be in Detroit end of the month campaigning for Kamala Harris. They better check people's bags for tomatoes, because I think they're going to be.
And you got to remember, the government got out of building houses a long time ago. So she keeps talking about she's going to build 3 million houses. Who? How? The government got out of building houses a long time ago because, as we know, projects and stuff, bad things happen there. Like, there's a lot of liability. So when they say 3 million homes, how are you going to do that? That would be independent contractors that would have to do that, not the government. The government does not build, the federal government does not build houses.
Right. Ricardo, how you doing? Says her plans for BFS is too evil. That's why she won't win. Okay. Again, it remains to be seen. But anyway, y'all, we love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here with us on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm still working on this so-called conversation that we're going to have on Sunday. We'll be in California, but if we can get that conversation together, if Donovan's not busy, perhaps we'll do the show from the studio, like old time's sake. So anyway, as will be my goal to see you all on Sunday. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of your day, and have a great evening. Peace.